Namaskar and welcome to Midday Prime, where we give you updates from India and the world, also the status of the procurement through MSP till the beginning of the month, that's December, and updates on potential vaccines in the ongoing fight against COVID. But first, let's begin with the big news at this hour. Important round of talks with farmers is underway, and the Agriculture Minister had made it clear before these talks that the government is serious about farmers' concerns, expecting a positive outcome. The farmers' representatives are in Vigyan Bhavan for these talks with the government on agricultural reform laws. About 40 farmers representing 32 farmers' organizations are involved with these talks. The Home Minister Amit Shah had interacted with the Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar. The Punjab Chief Minister Amrinder Singh also meets the Home Minister Amit Shah. Government procures about 19% more paddy in the Kharif season of 2020-21, that's this year, than last year in fact. And Punjab alone had contributed about 61% of the total procurement. The government also continues to procure other crops at MSP for the benefit of the farmers. The threat of the cyclone on Tamil Nadu and Kerala, and relief camps and control centres have been set up. The NDRF teams have been deployed. The Prime Minister is assured of all possible help to these affected states. The cyclone is likely to make landfall tomorrow. The Ministry of Home Affairs announces top 10 police stations in the country for 2020. Nongpok Sekmai police station, which is in Manipur, is named the number 1. Superstar Rajinikanth is to launch a political party in January. The announcement is to come on the 31st of this month, just months ahead of the Legislative Assembly polls in the state. International Day of Disabled Persons is being observed today. The Prime Minister calls for creating a better and more favourable world for people with disabilities. The international theme this year is Building Back Better, towards an inclusive, accessible and sustainable post-COVID-19 world by, for and with people of disabilities. And Australia reaches the top in the World Cup Super League after that 2-1 series win over India in the ODIs. India is at number 6. Based on the ranking, 7 qualifiers will be decided for the 2023 World Cup. So let's begin with the big story at this time. The fourth round of talks between the government and farmers' representatives is being held today at Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi. The Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar and the Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal are participating in these talks. Well, the third round of talks between the centre and the farmers was held on Tuesday, and during that meeting, the Agriculture Minister had emphasised that the government is fully committed to the welfare of farmers, and agricultural development is always the top priority for the Modi government. And he reiterated that the new Farm Reform Acts, which have been brought in, they have been brought in the interest of farmers. And earlier, before this meeting, the Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar met the Home Minister Amit Shah, and Tomar said that the government is constantly discussing these issues with farmers. Tomar expressed the hope that a positive outcome will come out of the fourth round of talks.
भारत सरकार किसानों से लगातार चर्चा कर रही है और मुझे आशा है कि चर्चा के सकारात्मक परिणाम निकलेंगे। चर्चा होगी, चर्चा में क्या रास्ते निकलते हैं ये चर्चा पर निर्भर करेगा। पहले से थोड़ी भविष्यवाणी की जा सकती। स्वाभाविक रूप से आज चौथे चरण की चर्चा है और मुझे लगता है इसका सकारात्मक पक्ष ठीक निकलेगा।
Meanwhile, the Punjab Chief Minister Amrinder Singh met the Home Minister Amit Shah in New Delhi, and the meeting was held at the Home Minister's residence in New Delhi. The leaders discussed issues related to the farm laws and the current situation. And one of the key concerns of the farmers is that the government continues to procure at MSP. But let's take a look at what actually has happened with MSP. The paddy procurement for 2020-21 Kharif season, the procuring states and union territories. Let's look at the number of states and union territories involved. There's Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Telangana, Uttarakhand, Tamil Nadu, Chandigarh, the union territory, Jammu and Kashmir, the union territory, Kerala, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Maharashtra, all these states involved. And what has happened is the purchase of over 322.38 LMT, that's long tons. That's taken, one long ton is about 1,016 kgs. LMTs of paddy, this is up to 1/12/2020. So that is what's happened till the beginning of this month. And last year, in fact, what was the purchase? What was the procurement? It was 270.24, which is 19.29% increase over last year. And Punjab, as we said in the headlines, has alone contributed 202.77 LMT, which is Punjab's contribution, which is about 62.90% of the total procurement. That's as we said, Punjab's procurement. The government has procured 62.90% of the total procurement has come from Punjab. And this has helped what 30.41 lakh farmers have benefit from this procurement. And the MSP value is at 60,865.69 crore rupees. So this is only for paddy. Let's move on to urad procurement for Kharif 2020-21. And we can see that we had about 109,000, that's 109,578.26 metric tons of moong, urad, groundnut, pods and soya bean have been procured. And the MSP value is of 590.26 crore rupees. And the number of farmers who have benefited from this are 62,899 farmers. They are generally from Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Haryana and Rajasthan. Moving on beyond urad, let's look at copra, coconut, copra procurement for Kharif 2021. And there's 5,089 metric tons of copra. And this is a perennial crop, so it happens throughout the year. And 52.40 crore rupees have been spent by this procurement and benefiting 3,961 farmers, mostly from Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. And last year what had happened was that it was only 293.34 metric tons of copra, so we can see an increase. Copra and urad rates are above the MSP currently in most producing states, so we can see another reason why going beyond MSP is also important. Kapas production, this is for Kharif season of 2020-21. This is seed cotton, which is what kapas is. Kapas, and it is in Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Karnataka. These are the states involved. And let's see the amount. 30,97,937 cotton bales, valuing about 9,066.22 crore rupees procured. And who is benefited? 6,17,049 farmers have benefited from this. Let's talk to our correspondent Arun Sharma, who is joining us on the phone line or who is joining us via video link. Arun, let's try and understand what is the key contention here. We see that MSP, the government has increased its procurement, so that shouldn't really be much of a concern. But still, that is what the farmers are putting out.
Mark, we know this fact that today an important meeting between centre and the farmers is taking place. And as we know this fact that the last meeting, that means the third round of meeting between centre and farmers, it was very much progressive in nature. So when we talk about the contentious issue, the government is of the view it's trying to understand from the farmers at what exactly are the contentious issues and whether these contentious issues actually exist, or this is just any kind of myth that exists in their mind. Second important part is that we are also witnessing there are various middlemen who in the name of farmers are also protesting as of now. The priority of the government as of now, Mark, is to double the farmers' income and to to ensure that the farmers' income do get increased. And without introducing a new ecosystem, the farmers' income can't be increased. So what actually has happened that in last couple of days, if you look at the pattern, when the farmers were saying that MSP should be amended and the MSP should be written in the bill. So when the government is saying that, look at the MSP numbers, I mean, 62% of the procurement, now the number goes to the Punjab farmers. That means maximum procurement is happening as far as from Punjab, as far as Punjab is concerned.
Yes.
And I mean, look at this way, or if you look at a year-on-year basis, close to 20% increase as far as the government procurement, the MSP is concerned. So now the farmers are of the view, they're raising issues like contract farming, whereby a successful model already exists in various states as far as contract farming is concerned. Look at in Gujarat, the potato farming farmers primarily in Gujarat, close to 1,300 potato farmers got into contract with the industry or the listed companies. Their revenues increased by 15 to 20%. The chili farmers in Andhra Pradesh, they got into contract with a listed company to produce chili for that corporate player. And primarily now they're earning 23,000 rupees more per acre. So in various states, we are witnessing that because of the contract farming, how the revenue is increasing for the farmers. As far as MSP is concerned, year-on-year basis, if you look at the statistics, the procurement is gradually increasing on a percentage terms. So these are some of the issues that government is, showcasing the success story to the farmers, that this is what we are offering it to you. But yes, in the name of the farmers, there are certain middlemen. Some political parties, they're trying to diverge the entire issue and they're trying to create myths in the minds of the farmer.
Yes, indeed. And one of the great advantages of the Farm Acts is that it opens up the markets. They can sell anywhere in the country and get the best price. So that is price discovery, as it's called in economics, is a very important term, because otherwise we are looking at administered prices. But the MSP is a support price, as we understand. And the support price is important for the farmers, as we can see. That's why they are demanding it, because they don't want to sell at below, at losses, because this is by nature, it is a short-term market. I mean, they're dealing only with products which have a short term. They are not, long-term. They can't speculate for the future. So this is the kind of interest that they're looking at. But we have seen through, other products in this particular contract farming method that they have actually got better prices through price discovery. And perhaps, that can be conveyed in a sense, and it is being driven down to the farmers.
Absolutely, Mark. So to put it in the perspective, let's try to understand that government is trying to primarily end the monopoly in the market as far as the agriculture sector is concerned. As of now, farmers can only sell, I mean, if you look at the law primarily, which was existing till now, the farmers could only sell, according to APMC, their stuff or produce to the adatiyas or the middlemen in our country. But now what government is doing, it is trying to create a new ecosystem for the farmers, whereby they get a bigger market. So primarily farmers have three options whereby they can sell their farm produce. One is via government procurement method or via MSP. Second, importantly, they can of course go to mandis and they can sell in mandi. And side by side, government is also ensuring that how can these mandis be electronically integrated. They can state to state integration can take place as far as the mandis are concerned. E-NAM initiative by the government is ensuring that mandis can be technologically upgraded and farmers can also sell their stuff or the produce in the mandis. Last but not the least, it's the corporate players, the MSMEs that are dealing into food processing industries or any corporate player, they can get into contract with the farmers. And farmer, apart from getting bigger market access, what farmers are getting? The farmers are getting freedom to sell wherever they want to, wherever they're getting prices. Farmers are getting empowerment because it is even in the contract farming, Mark, if in case farmer wants to walk away from any kind of contract with a corporate player, there won't be any kind of penalty as far as that farmer is concerned. But on the contrary, if in case any corporate sector or a corporate player who has done a contract with the farmer, if in case he walks away, he is not paying it to the farmer, that corporate player will be penalized. This matter will be raised at the SDM level, and this entire issue has to be resolved in only 1 month of time. So this primarily empowers the farmers of our country. So why is it that the farmers of Punjab primarily are not convinced with this part? We have seen these success stories in various other states of our country. So government is trying to showcase various success stories where various success stories whereby farmers are actually has increased the revenues by 15 to 20%. So if in case the farmer's income has to be doubled, a new ecosystem has to be brought in place. And here the government is ensuring that how can, primarily a bigger market can be ensured for the farmer, whereby they have freedom to sell, and of course they have empowerment. Mark, let me also remind you one more fact. Whenever any reformist approach is adopted by the government or implemented by the government, certain kind of myths are being created by some political parties or certain section of people in the society. In 2017, when GST was implemented, this fact, a lot of myths were created that if in case GST is implemented, inflation will rise, industries will be crushed, and there will be no business. But today the reality is something very much different. Okay. Inflation is in very much controllable or manageable levels. The industries, are gradually doing up their businesses as far as the GST registration or filing is concerned. The government revenue is coming at around 1 lakh crore rupees on a monthly basis as far as GST is concerned. So GST is a reformist approach as far as indirect taxation is concerned. So on the other side, when we talk about these three agriculture bills, this ensures and intends to double the farmer's income, to give freedom to the farmers, to empower the farmer, to technologically upgrade the mandis and the agriculture sector. So this is the intent of these three agriculture law primarily, and that's what the government is trying to convince. And as earlier also the agriculture minister told to the media as well, that the third round of meeting was very much progressive in nature, and they're expecting some positive results. So all eyes will be on today's meeting, which is taking place between center and of course the farmers, as far as the fourth meeting is concerned, the fourth round of talks are concerned, whereby clause by clause discussion will take place. That means wherever any kind of myth or any contentious issues there as far as any clause is concerned, the farmer, close to 40 farmer leaders will be there, and they'll be putting up it into front of the center, and the farmers will are very much likely to come out with some amicable solution for that. Mark?
Thanks very much, Arun Sharma, for those inputs. So a clause by clause discussion taking place of the bills and of the acts, and the concerns that the farmers have being fully addressed by the government, and a positive outcome is likely, as our correspondent was also saying. Now, meanwhile, many farmers have come forward wholeheartedly welcoming the new agricultural laws. Let's listen to some of them.
My name is Binod Haloy of Panigaon village in Nalbari district. I am a progressive farmer. I highly welcome the central government for passing 3 new agricultural laws for the benefit of actual farmers. The new laws will facilitate the farmers to fix the price of their production instead of middlemen or other agencies. I am really grateful to the central government.
I am Nirmal Haloy of Panigaon village in Nalbari district. I am a progressive farmer of district. I highly welcome the central government for passing the 3 new agriculture laws for the benefit of the actual farmers. The new law will facilitate the farmer to fix the price of their productions instead of middlemen or other agencies. I am really thankful to the central government.
And Rama Tyagi is now joining us with more from Shopian. Rama, let's try and understand how this is helping the farmers of Jammu and Kashmir.
Like other parts of country, in Jammu and Kashmir, the farmers are taking benefit of new laws, and I have with me this time a 4th generation farmer, Adnan from Shopian, and let's talk to him and know his experience. Adnan ji, welcome to our show, and we want to know what is your experience about new farm laws.
Actually, it was since last 10 years, there was a pain in my heart that why I am not able to fix the price of my product. And this year I have realized the dream, and I have fixed price of my product, and my slogan is my product, my price. And alhamdulillah, I am doing well, and I have sold almost all my crop, and I have purchased from the different farmers also, and I have given them the good benefit. Almost there is increase of 30 to 40% in the price.
Okay. Earlier there were middlemen and there were other obstacles also. Now, which kind of economic independence you are feeling?
Personally, no, I'm really satisfied that it's what I produce and the quality I give, the more the price I get. and it depends on me what kind of quality I can give, and there is a huge market for our product, especially for the Kashmiri apple, and people are ready to pay for it with the premium product. And I have branded my product, and I have reduced the packing. I have reduced the traditional way of packing. I have made 6-pack apple retail packs, small packs, and people are liking it. I'm supplying to the department stores, different shops outside state, Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore. Even I am getting orders from the England, America, Canada, where they want to send their this fruit to the relatives in India and
Right.
in J&K.
Another big benefit is you can sell your produce anywhere in the country.
Yes, yes. Even this year, I am trying to make the infrastructure for the online platform. Once I have the platform, I can send pan India, and I am trying for that. And my target is almost 1 lakh boxes. I will try to sell via online platform. I will go digitally, inshallah, very soon.
And how many farmers are there around you in your area who are taking inspirations from you?
Yeah, many farmers are coming to me, especially the young farmers. They want, they are just like, they want help from me, that what you have done and how you have done, please guide us. I'm ready to help them, and we'll make a cooperative, and there are FPOs already in process. So we'll go step by step in an organized way, and what we'll do is we'll make this a commodity as a product, not as a, that you will sell in a distress sale. We'll brand, and we will market our product at our terms and conditions.
And how these
Yes.
online mandis are helping you, this digitized system?
If you personally, I think it has to be digitally now. I don't think so. No, it has to be both ways, offline, online. But the online medium is very attractive, and it's very helpful for us because it's direct from farmer to the customer, and we can sell to different supermarkets outside state, and even we can export the apple. The quality we have, we can export it. And in next coming years there will be a revolution, and people like me, young farmers, they will get benefited out of it, and it's a full-time career now.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank
Rama,
you for
one
sharing
question
your
from my
experience.
side
So,
also, Rama,
as,
because he
we have
did
seen,
mention, he was,
40%. Yeah.
he was
Okay.
mentioning about, I was
Yeah.
concerned actually about the logistics, because maybe the middlemen have supplied some logistics. He's got a 30% increase in his prices, but maybe he has to increase his costs also because he has to now supply. Or does he have a route in which he can transport his products to anywhere in the country?
Okay, our anchor Mark Lynn, he is asking about your logistics, and as you have said that 30% increase in your supply. So what is your logistic base, and what kind of increase you want?
Actually, logistics is an issue still. Still I am facing with the logistics issue. But I think now the new shipping companies are coming up. So I am trying to tie up with them. And at current moment, I am just directly doing by courier services and all. But I want to tie up with good company, and so that I can sell my product online. And there are no issues in it. And the customer gets the best quality Apple product from us.
Okay, Mark,
Yes.
any other question you want to ask?
No, that's fine. I think it's the market is evolving, as we can clearly see from your friend there, and that's exactly what these farm
Yeah.
laws have done. They have
And see
opened
the
up
hope, see the hope,
Yes.
how hopeful he is. Yeah.
Indeed. Thanks very much, Rama, for those inputs and
He's
helping us
saying that
understand.
his 10 years long-term demand is fulfilled now.
Absolutely. So a long demand has been fulfilled, and we can see that it has definitely helped the high quality products of apples that come out of the Kashmir Valley. Moving on then to our next story, which is our developing story. And now an update on the cyclonic storm Burevi. And the cyclonic storm over Sri Lanka, it's moved west-northwestwards. It's moving at a speed of about 11 kilometers per hour. That happened during the last 6 hours. It's very likely to move west-northwestwards and emerge into the Gulf of Mannar near Mannar coast. And this is going to happen during the next few hours, in fact. So the cyclonic storm has about a wind speed of about 70 to 80 kilometers per hour, gusting to about 90 kilometers per hour. And it would be centered very close to Pamban area. That would happen, should be there around there now, because we're talking about noon today. And then move across Pamban area by afternoon. and cross the South Tamil Nadu coast between Pamban and Kanyakumari. During the night and early morning tomorrow, it's likely to have a wind speed of about 70 to 80, gusting to 90 kilometers per hour, and likely to make landfall. And as Cyclone Burabi is in fact expected to reach the southern Tamil Nadu coast tonight, landfall at Trincomalee in Sri Lanka and also in Thoothukudi district. It's likely to bring with it heavy rain in these areas. Rescue and relief teams are stationed at vulnerable points. 490 relief camps have also been set up across districts in the likely path of the cyclone Burevi in Tamil Nadu, and they can accommodate up to 92 lakh people. Currently, 1,700 people are staying in 44 of these centers. 432 places in Tamil Nadu have been identified. These are vulnerable places, and necessary precautionary measures have been taken there, especially in the coastal villages. Of the 7,605 lakes in Tamil Nadu, 979 lakes have reached 100% capacity so far. Measures have been taken to monitor the flooding of water bodies in the state due to heavy rains during the cyclone and to discharge the excess water. Now, as the cyclone nears Kerala coast, the NDRF teams, they've been deployed there in appropriate numbers to tackle the situation. DS Kushwaha from the NDRF tells us about the adequate teams of NDRF, that they are there on a war footing and also ready to tackle the situation whenever needed.
Total 8 teams have been deployed till now, and according to IMD report, today's red alert has been issued for Trivandrum district. If there may be any disaster, then we can respond fast, and for this is the reason why we are working continuously, and we are ready for any disasters response, and we are well equipped with DM equipments, and we are observing the situation continuously. In SCOC and DOC, we are continuous in touch, and if there will be any required of NDRF, then we...
And Chandu Nair from Kanyakumari is joining us with an update. Chandu Nair, let's understand the big concern would be obviously of first about the wind speeds. Not very fast. I don't think they can cause too much damage. Heavy rains is a big concern as well. So, you know, what's the outlook like? How well are people prepared, and how many have moved into shelter camps?
Here all things are going right now, because here the situation is very calm, quiet, and quiet atmosphere here. We can see that it is not, waves are not tumultuous. I think this is the lull before the storm. Because we are expecting the storm within hours. I mean, in this tonight it may hit this area, because it has reached the Pamban area. Pamban area means that is the coastal area of India, and it will reach within hours from now. It will reach there. From there, it will move to Kanyakumari area. This is the Pamban, the Thoothukudi and the Kanyakumari belt. It is like that, and it will come this area within hours. So the moving speed of the storm is only 11 km per hour, but the wind speed is 70 to 80 kilometers. So we are prepared. We have given a high alert to this area. The stop and establishments were closed, and the boat service to the rock and the statue area has been shut down, and the farmers and fishermen are keeping in their homes itself, and the boats are stationed here, and all the situations, all the precaution has been taken here, and we are expecting the cyclone within hours in this area.
Indeed. You know, I mean, what we've given our viewers to understand is that the cyclone is going to make landfall tonight, and you've given us, you're already, I can see that, you know, there's quite a lot of wind blowing there, and you're saying it's the lull before the storm. Give us an idea about, you know, about how fearful this storm is likely to be, and the context with which people have been told to stay indoors, and the way that people are following those orders.
Yeah, really we are expecting a dreadful wind and storm here this evening, because the wind speed is about 90 to 80 kilometers per hour, and it may go up to just up to 100 kilometers per hour. Moreover, due to this storm, there will be a rain of 20 centimeter. That is, it may cause flood to the southern part of this area. Moreover, Kerala also experience heavy rain, and there will also be flood situation may arise there, because 20 centimeter means that last time when Oki came, the situation was same, and more than 20 centimeter rain was there, and it was flooded everywhere in that area. And red alert has been issued to south districts of Kerala, Trivandrum, Kollam, Pathanamthitta and Idukki. Moreover, orange alert has been reverted now, and 7 districts in Kerala has been now in red alert. And all the establishments in this area has been closed, and NDRF has been stationed all over here. Police also vigilant into chase any kind of situation here.
And any vulnerable structures, you know, buildings that are likely to are looking weak, also your poles, electricity poles in all these areas. Give us an idea about, you know, the kind of potential damage that the winds and the rain can cause.
Because we are experiencing such a calamity for the last 1 year, because this is the 6th cyclone coming in the season, and 4th in this year. That's why, so we have prepared. Moreover, there are 300 camps have been opened here in this Kanyakumari district itself. Moreover, Trivandrum and Kollam also camps have been opened. We have evacuated so many people from the coastal area, and we have sheltered them, and it is very safe. And we hope that there won't be any casualties, and all the structures are now, it is safe, and the roofs were handed over to police stations, and the police are looking with them.
Chandu Nair, thank you very much for being with us and those inputs. Chandu Nair there joining us from Kanyakumari. Moving on then to our next story, which is the National Prime segment, in fact.
Okay.
India has reported more daily recoveries than the daily new cases during the last 24 hours, while 35,551 persons were found to be infected with COVID-19 in India during that period. India has registered 40,726 recoveries, and it has led to a net decline of 5,701 cases from the total active caseload in the last 24 hours. The new recoveries continue to overtake the daily new cases continuously since the past 6 days, and India's active caseload has thus fallen under the 4.5% mark today. India's present active caseload is 4,22,943, and this consists of 4.44% of India's total positive cases. New recoveries outnumbering the daily new cases has also improved the recovery rate, which is at 94.11% as of today. The total recovered cases stand at 89,73,373. 77.64% of the new recovered cases have come from 10 states and union territories. According to the ICMR, the Indian Council of Medical Research, the total number of samples tested so far is 14,35,57,647. These include 11,11,698, which were tested on the 2nd of December. And Government of India has selected the best performing police stations across the country. They do so every year to incentivize their effective functioning of these police stations by bringing about healthy competition among them. And the rank number 1 this year is Nongpok Sekmai Police Station. It's ranked number 1. It's in Manipur. The other police stations in the ranking include rank number 2, Tamil Nadu's AWPS Suramangalam Station. Rank number 3 is Arunachal Pradesh's Karasang Station. Rank number 4, Chhattisgarh is Jilmili Police Station. 5, Goa's Sanguem Police Station. 6, Andaman and Nicobar Islands Kalighat Station. 7, Sikkim's Pakyong Station. And 8 is Uttar Pradesh's Kanth Station. 9, Dadra Nagar Haveli's Kanvel Station. and 10 is Telangana's Jamikunta town police station. President Ram Nath Kovind paid homage to Dr Rajnath Prasad, the first President of India, on his birth anniversary at the Rashtrapati Bhavan today. The President and officials of the Rashtrapati Bhavan paid floral tributes before a portrait of Dr Rajnath Prasad. President Ram Nath Kovind paid tribute to Dr Rajnath Prasad on his birth anniversary. And paying tributes to the first President of India on his birth anniversary, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu tweeted saying, Dr Rajnath Prasad was a selfless and visionary leader who played a significant role in shaping the polity of India. The Vice President further said that Rajendra Prasad will always be remembered for his simplicity and compassion for others. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also paid tributes to the former President of India, Bharat Ratna Dr Rajendra Prasad. On his birth anniversary, the Prime Minister tweeted, Dr Rajendra Prasad's role in the freedom struggle and in making of the Constitution is incomparable. The Prime Minister said that his life, based on the principles of simple living and high thinking, will always inspire our countrymen. International Day of Persons with Disabilities is being observed today. The theme this year is Building Back Better towards a disability-inclusive, accessible and sustainable post-COVID-19 world. The Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu tweeted on the occasion and said, on the International Day of People with Disabilities, I call upon everyone to treat persons with disabilities with empathy and respect. We have to ensure that they are not discriminated and are rather empowered to lead a life of dignity. The Prime Minister has also tweeted on the occasion, and he tweeted, and I quote, in line with this year's UN theme of building back better towards a disability-inclusive, accessible and sustainable post-COVID-19 world, let us collectively keep working towards ensuring opportunity and improving accessibility for our Divyang sisters and brothers. The resilience and fortitude of persons with disabilities inspires us. Under the Accessible India initiative, numerous measures have been taken that ensure there is a positive change in the lives of our Divyang sisters and brothers. The superstar Rajinikanth will launch a political party in January. He had met the district secretaries of the Rajni Makkal Mandaram on Monday and had deliberated on the possibility of his political foray. Rajinikanth said that he will make the announcement on the 31st of this month. And Philip Matthews is now joining us with an input on this. Well, Philip, put this into context for us. The fact that, Rajinikanth is going to start a political party at the end of this year. So beginning of next year is going to be a fresh year with Rajinikanth in politics. We already know that Kamala Hassan is in politics. So are we moving away from the AIADMK and the DMK in a sense in Tamil Nadu?
Well, Mark, it must be said that Rajni did not specify whether he was going to start a front of his own or whether he was going to align with any of the established parties, the two Dravidian parties. That was not very clear. And he had a short interaction with the media earlier today, just after he had made this announcement. But what he did say was that he would he expressed confidence that they would win the assembly polls. At least his party would give an honest, transparent, corruption-free, and a spiritual kind of governance. Okay. He also said a miracle would certainly happen, and he said he was somebody who would not go back on his promises. He had made the same promise around 3 years ago. He had made the announcement, but there had been subsequent delays, which had led to speculation about whether he had changed his mind. But he said, political change is necessary. It's the need of the hour, and if it is not done now, it will never happen. So he asked the people of Tamil Nadu to stand by him, and he said, together, we will bring about change in the state. So he clearly is making it very clear that he has decided to enter into politics, and finally the ultimate step has been taken. So this was something that was speculated about for a long time, but given the fact that the corona pandemic happened, there was a lot of speculation that Rajni would back out because of because of advice about his medical condition.
Well, but the ultimate test, Philip, would be, if they contest elections, and that will be to see how well, we understand that he's extremely popular in the state, but, whether that actually transfers into votes is the big test. And you did mention about whether the possibility of him tying up with a political party and how it's going to help the fortunes of that party. So it's really only next year that we'll know these things.
Absolutely, Mark. In fact, he's somebody who plays his card very close to his chest. So we will get to know only once the party is launched. But what he has said, some time ago, was that he himself ruled himself out of the race for the chief minister's post, and he said he wanted to separate his party from the government, and he wanted to form a council that would appoint a young and capable chief minister who would supervise the functioning of the government. He wanted to abolish thousands of party posts and induct youngsters into the party. So he's clearly looking for a wholesale change, and he says he would rather drive the change from outside rather than from within the government. So that is a promise he had made earlier. We'll have to wait and see whether he goes back on that under pressure from his party cadres, because a lot depends on protecting him as the face of the party in order for the party to make a mark in the coming elections.
Philip Matthews, thanks very much for joining us from Chennai with those inputs. Our next segment is Midday Prime. Stay with us. And we have Midday Prime, and joining us on Midday Prime is my colleague Ajay Mishra.
Thanks very much, Mark. Well, welcome all to Business Prime, and we are starting this section with the news from the HDFC Bank. The Reserve Bank of India on Wednesday ordered the HDFC Bank to halt digital launches, new credit cards. The banking regulator issued the order to HDFC Bank with respect to certain incidents of outage in internet banking, mobile banking, payment utilities of the bank over past 2 years, including recent outage in the internet banking and payment system on November 21st due to a power failure in the primary data center. The country's largest private bank informed the stock exchanges on Wednesday that the order from the RBI was issued on December 2 and was in response to outage in the bank's internet banking, mobile banking and payment utilities over the past 2 years. The most recent outage took place, as we told, on November 21st, when many customers could not access their digital banking. The bank blamed this on a power failure in its primary data center. An equity benchmark Sensex rallied over 300 points in early trade to hit its fresh intraday record on Thursday, tracking gains in index measures HDFC Bank, Reliance Industries and Maruti amid largely positive cues from global markets. After scaling a peak of 44,953, the 30-share BSE index was trading 176 points or 0.40% higher at 44,795. Similarly, the broader NSE Nifty touched a peak of 13,216 before trading 60 points or 0.45% up at 13,172. Tata Steel was the top gainer in the Sensex pack, rising around 2%, followed by Maruti, ONGC, HDFC Bank, Tech Mahindra, L&T, HCL Tech and SBI. Major Indian brands including Dabur, Patanjali and Jhandu were selling honeys adulterated with a modified sugar from China, which can bypass some of the basic tests used to collect adulterated honey. The researchers from Center for Science and Environment, CSE, have alleged. Responding to these allegations, the spokesperson from Dabur, Patanjali and Jhandu denied that their honey products were adulterated and pointed out that they meet regulatory requirements laid down by Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, CSE. CSE Director General Sunita Narayan, the organization launched an investigation when beekeepers in North India reported reduced profit despite a spike in honey sales during the COVID-19 pandemic. But it is a matter of investigation whether these samples which has been sent to German lab for all the testings are actually adulterated or not. But they are claiming that they meet all the Indian standards. That's all in the Business Prime. For more news and updates, let's go back to Mark.
Thanks very much, Ajay, and interesting news there from the world of business. Now let's get you all the news that's coming in from across the globe. Well, President-elect of the United States, Joe Biden, on Wednesday promised to promised a group of workers hit by the raging COVID-19 pandemic that more aid would be on the way. Biden, who has pledged to act quickly to provide more resources to fight the health crisis after he is inaugurated on January 20, told a group of workers and business owners that any emergency aid approved by the Congress before he takes office would be only a down payment. Republicans and Democrats are trying to resolve a months-long standoff. This is happening in Congress, in the U.S. Congress, over a stimulus package for businesses which these businesses which have been affected by coronavirus shutdowns, as well as also millions who've lost their jobs there. The Russian Health Minister Mikhail Murashko has said that more than 100,000 people have already been vaccinated by the Sputnik 5 vaccine against COVID-19, as Moscow has presented its Sputnik 5 vaccine to the United Nations over a video link. According to that presentation, more than 45,000 people are currently participating in the Sputnik 5 trials across the world. And the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, earlier ordered authorities to begin mass voluntary vaccinations next week. Russia said that its Sputnik 5 jab was over 90% effective at protecting people from COVID-19, according to interim results. Pfizer's chief executive, Albert Bourla, has said that he's confident that by the end of 2021, there would be more vaccine doses than required to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. His remarks came after Britain approved the vaccine produced by Pfizer and its German biotechnology partner BioNTech. This happened on Wednesday. The two companies say that their vaccine is 95% effective. The British Medicines and Health Products Regulatory Agency has granted emergency use approval just 23 days after Pfizer published the first data from its final stage clinical trial. The vaccine is due to be rolled out next week in Britain. The US and the EU regulators are sifting through the same of Pfizer's vaccine trial data, but they've yet to give their approval. The New York Governor, Andrew Cuomo, said on Wednesday that New York's first coronavirus vaccine delivery of 170,000 doses will arrive on December 15. Cuomo also criticized the data sharing agreement put forward by the government that he said could dissuade undocumented immigrants from participating in taking the vaccine. He expressed concern that the data on receiving the vaccine could end up in the hands of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The Spanish government agreed with the regional authorities on Wednesday that a maximum of 10 people per household will be allowed to gather for Christmas and New Year holidays to avoid spreading of the coronavirus, and that travel between regions will be limited. The Health Minister, Salvador Illa, had said this, and the agreement, which applies to celebrations on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, as well as New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, means a slight relaxation of the current general rule that allows gatherings of up to 6 people, except in some regions that have defined their own limits. The start of the nighttime curfews in force in most Spanish regions would be moved to 1:30 a.m. from 11 p.m. on December 24th to 31. The former French President Valéry Giscard d'Estaing has died at the age of 94. The Élysée Palace has said Giscard who was France's leader in 1974, between 1974 and 1981, had recently been hospitalized in Tours in West France and was being treated in the cardiology unit, according to Europe 1 Radio, which first reported the death. Giscard was known for steering a modernization of French society during his presidency, including allowing the divorce by mutual consent and legalizing abortion, and was one of the architects of European integration. Israel received its most advanced warship on Wednesday, describing the German-made vessel dubbed Shield as a bulwark for vulnerable Mediterranean gas rigs, as tensions with Tehran soar over the assassination of a top Iranian nuclear scientist. The SAR-6 corvette, which docked in Haifa port, and 3 of the same model to follow next year, will bring to 15 the number of missile-carrying vessels deployed by an Israeli Navy, which, while small, carries out missions as far away as the Red Sea and the Gulf. Israel also wants to protect offshore natural gas fields close to Lebanon, an old foe with which it has held so far fruitless US-mediated maritime border talks. Constitutional Court unanimously ruled in favor of Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha on Wednesday in a conflict of interest case brought by opposition politicians. Prayut was accused of a conflict of interest because he remained in military housing despite his retirement from the army in 2014, months after overthrowing an elected government. Prayut has said that he needed to stay there for security reasons. The court said the former army chief's stay in the residence was in line with the army's rules, and the safety of the Prime Minister and his family was the government's priority. And it's time now for stories from the world of sports. And here's Suchitra with all the stories from the world of sports.
Thank you, Mark. Let's start with cricket rankings. Australia has moved to the top of the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup Super League points table following the victory over India. Host Australia defeated India 2-1 in the ODI series and have jumped to number 1 in the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup Super League with 40 points. India won the last game of the series and are placed at number 6 position with 9 points. Reigning World Cup winners England are second in the points table with 30 points. On to football now. Cristiano Ronaldo scored his 750th career goal as Juventus eased to victory against Dynamo Kiev. The match was refereed by Stefani Fapa, who became the first woman to take charge of a men's Champions League fixture. Ronaldo scored the second for the Italian champions, already through to the last 16. Chelsea forward Olivier Giroud has become the oldest player to score a Champions League hat-trick on a record-breaking night after scoring all 4 of his side's goals in their win over Sevilla on Wednesday. Just over 2 months since his 34th birthday, the France international put his name into the history books as he hit top gear for the Blues after being given a rare start by Frank Lampard. Barcelona coped admirably without Lionel Messi in their ranks as they eased to a 3-0 win over Ferencvaros in Wednesday's Champions League clash. Messi was rested for the second consecutive Group G game due to concerns over his fitness and with the team already assured of a place in the last 16. Barca eased to victory against the Hungarian champions thanks to goals from Griezmann, Braithwaite and Dembele inside the opening half an hour. The La Liga giants have now won 9 of their last 10 Champions League games without Messi. Manchester United's Champions League campaign is hanging in the balance as 2 goals from Neymar helped Paris Saint-Germain secure 3-1 victory at Old Trafford. Marcus Rashford scored his 3rd goal in 4 games against the French outfit. The result leaves United level with PSG and RB Leipzig on 9 points in Group H and knowing they need a draw away to the German side next Tuesday to progress to the last 16. Forensic investigations are underway in the probe into Diego Maradona's death, according to attorneys representing both Maradona's family and his personal doctor. Yesterday's developments are the latest twist in a probe into the soccer legend's death last week, which has already seen files seized from his personal doctor and psychiatrist. So those were some sports updates. Back to you, Mark.
Thanks very much, Suchitra. And now let's get your news from Life Prime, which is news about art and culture. The Speaker of the U.S. House, Nancy Pelosi, hit the U.S. Capitol's Christmas tree on Wednesday, a tradition that dates back more than 50 years. And she said that tonight We gather once more before this symbol of peace and hope. The 55-foot Engelmann's spruce came from Colorado. The pared back ceremony, it comes as US health experts on Wednesday have welcomed British emergency approval of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine, which is a sign that US regulators may soon follow suit in a bid to bring the surging pandemic under control. London Zoo reopened its gates on Wednesday as England emerged from a month-long coronavirus lockdown. The Zoological Society of London charity, which runs the zoo, had been calling for the public to book tickets ahead of the reopening following a total of 15 weeks closure in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. England said the coronavirus was the first thing to shut down the zoo since the Blitz in World War II. Pakistan's lonely elephant Kavan began his new life in a Cambodian wildlife sanctuary, the result of years of campaigning for his relocation by the American singer Cher. Kavan will gradually move from a quarantine enclosure to a larger one and then will eventually be able to explore an area spanning several hectares, according to the communications representative from the animal welfare organization Four Paws. The 36-year-old elephant had spent most of the life at a zoo in Islamabad before being moved to the Kulen Tep Wildlife Sanctuary in Odar Mancheri province to start a new life with some 600 other elephants. Kavan arrived in Cambodia from Pakistan by a cargo plane on November 30. The Information Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar will deliver this year's Dr Rajnath Prasad Memorial Lecture. You can listen to this on all stations of Akashvani and audio radio, that is, at 9:30 p.m. and at DD News Live at 10 p.m. tonight. And with that, we conclude Midday Prime for today. Thanks very much for being with us. Namaskar.